Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to be with you. My name is Raheem Escalai, and this is 413 Sports Talk, episode 12. What I have for you today is some reviews and scores from the NCAA Men's and Women's action. My little segment that I like to call 32 and 16. Today we touch upon the AFC West and some NBA scores, news, and highlights. But first, let's get into 32 and 16. Today I'd like to touch upon the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's start with the Broncos. To me, the question in Denver is who they're going to have at quarterback. I think Drew Lock has shown some type of marginal ability to be a starter, but it's just something he just needs something else. There's something else that he needs, and I think that offensive line needs to be rebuilt as well. So to protect Drew Lock, to give him targets, and just all around just keeping him upright, I think is what needs to happen in Denver. That defense is good. Don't get me wrong. The defensive line is great. Garrett Wolf and those guys up there, they complement what Von Miller and Bradley Chubb like to do at linebackers. I honestly predicted the Denver Broncos to select Micah Parsons, the freak athlete linebacker out of Penn State. So I think they're going to go that way with the draft, grab another defensive stud, and I think that's what's going to make that team better. So offensively, they've got to get that line better, protect Drew Lock, and maybe they're going to have to establish some type of running game with him this year. Philip Lindsay, as you know, is leaving in free agency. He's not signing back with Denver, at least to the best of my knowledge. So get him a running back, get him some type of protection, keep Drew Lock up, and I think we'll be able to see what he's done with what he can do as a quarterback in this league. The Denver Broncos finished last in the AFC West with a dismal record of 5-11. I see things improving only from the standpoint if that offensive line gets bolstered with another guy or a great pick in free agency, or they just get some targets for Drew Lock. So we're gonna say 6-10 for the Broncos again. Sorry, Broncos fans. This is what happens when you guys rebuild. I have no sympathy for you guys. You guys knocked out a bunch of good quarterbacks who I've rooted for in the past. So no sympathy to you guys, Denver Broncos. That's what I have for you with that. Moving on to the second team in the AFC West that I'm covering, Los Angeles Chargers. Now, everybody thinks, at the beginning of the season, you think they're done. There's too many questions, too many big holes. Quarterback, left tackle, right tackle, the outside linebacker spot opposite Melvin Ingram. So you're sitting there thinking there's too many holes. How are they gonna make this happen? How are they gonna get this done? And they go and draft Justin Herbert, already having Tyrod Taylor on the roster. But they went and drafted Justin Herbert, and I think it was a great pick. He's a hell of a guy. Definitely the leader, the face of that franchise for the next 10, 15 years going down the line. He was the only quarterback I've ever seen with the touchdown to interception ratio being so high. Passed for over 4,300 yards, more than 30 touchdowns, just 10 picks. 31 touchdowns, just 10 picks, and over 4,000 yards as a rookie. Last rookie quarterback I knew to threw for more than 20 touchdowns in a season was Peyton Manning. We all know how his rookie year went. So, the Chargers were good. They were good when they drafted Herbert. They had pieces around him. The Chargers defense is solid. So actually, I predict for them to make a jump. I think the Chargers may compete with the Chiefs a little bit this year for supremacy in the NFC West. Are they going to win the division? Maybe not. I really don't think they have the firepower to do that yet. Get Justin a couple more years in the system, and and more pieces start to come in and out of there with free agency and drafts, and I think the Los Angeles Chargers will be just fine. 10-6. I think the ceiling's a little higher for Herbert this year. Do I think that the stats are going to translate heavily in the second year? No. I think when you come with something new in the NFL, defenses always pick up within a year. So I think some of the stuff he was able to do will be picked up on, eventually. So I think that's what's going to happen with that. So Los Angeles Chargers 10-6. So their goals 32-16. Moving on, for you beautiful people who have some NBA scores, I'm going to read those off real quick. Washington Wizards on top of the Indiana Pacers 132-124. The New Orleans Pelicans beat the Boston Celtics 115-109. Brooklyn Nets get a win over the Minnesota Timberwolves 112-107. The Miami Heat, yay! Ryan Jones, your Miami Heat finally won! 98-88 over the Knicks. Detroit Pistons and the Toronto Raptors 118-104. Detroit gets the win. Memphis Grizzlies over the Houston Rockets 120-110. Dallas Mavericks over the Thunder 127-116. Sacramento Kings beat the San Antonio Spurs 132-115. Utah Jazz over the lowly Cleveland Cavaliers 114-75. Golden State Warriors top the Chicago Bulls 116-102. Now, for the NCAA men's scores, I have Houston beating Oregon State 67-61, and number 1 Baylor knocks off number 3 Arkansas 81-72. Now that's for the men's. As far as the NCAA women's is concerned, UConn with a fantastic game knocks off the Baylor Bears at the last second to win 69-67. Boy, that was a good game. I loved it. I thank the Lord I watched that, man. It was back and forth, and then UConn had a lead, and Baylor pulled away, and then just at the last second, swish, there it is. So, tonight I have for you my Gonzaga Bulldogs are going up against the USC Trojans at 7:15. Number 1 Michigan goes on to face number 11 UCLA. And that's what we have for the men's. And the women's, South Carolina, number 1 South Carolina goes on to take number 6 Texas. And the number 1 Stanford Lady Cardinals against the Louisville Cardinals. I predicted Stanford to win the entire thing. Let's hope they can do it tonight. There we are. Tuesday, episode 12. First and foremost, I would love to thank everybody supporting us, everybody tuning in, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. And in order for us to grow, we need just a little bit more of that. So if you could like, share, and subscribe. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. Share some of these episodes, comment, message me if there's something I missed, something I didn't get right, or just something you want to talk about in regards to sports. Please let me know. My name is Rahim Escalai. This is 413 Sports Talk, and we are out. Peace.